What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Idaho Rifleman. You know, when I was first getting into guns and while I was growing up, I often heard a lot of people say that 40 Smith & Wesson is an irrelevant caliber. If you want to carry a 40 instead of a 45 because it's smaller, just go down to a 9. If you want to carry a 40 instead of a 9 because it's a little bit bigger and got more stopping power, just go up to a 45. So, today we're going to put 40 Smith & Wesson compared up against 45 ACP. I have looked and looked and looked, and I have not been able to find the Hornady American Gunner for 9mm here locally, so I'm gonna have to order that in, and down the road we'll do a comparison between 9 and 40. But for right now, we're gonna use Hornady American Gunner. This is 45 ACP, 185 grain XTP, and this is the 40 Smith & Wesson 180 grain XTP. We're going to compare these two rounds into some ballistic gel and see what they look like. So let's head over to that range and we'll get started. Here are the two firearms that we have today. This is the Beretta 9000S 40 caliber that's on loan to the channel. And this is the Rock Island 1911 45 ACP. They are about as close as I could get to equal barrel lengths for this test. So we're going to see what the performance difference is. Again, for both calibers, we'll be using the Hornady American Gunner XTP, 180 grain 40 Smith & Wesson, and 185 grain 45 ACP. Well, that zipped right through one block of gel. Stand by while I set up a second. And we're back. Well, that's embarrassing. I missed everything.
I ain't a very good shot.
We had two good hits here. This is the 40 Smith & Wesson. I don't know if you can see that round or not, but we are in 17 inches of gel. So it just barely was too powerful for one block. 45 ACP. .45 ACP. You can see the energy dump on 40. Maybe a little bit more, but they occur in about the same place in that gel. Carried on through, and there's 45 ACP, not even a half an inch more than the 40. Here are the two rounds dug out of the ballistic gel. 40 Smith & Wesson. Looks like it actually had maybe some more force the way it hit and kind of the way it mushroomed out. Compared to 45 ACP, you can see the perfect pedaling in it, but the 40 actually did expand just a little bit more. All right, how about a chronograph reading? 40 Smith & Wesson. 1006, 959, error, 983, 976, 948. .45 ACP. 842, 882, 852, 838, 846. little slower, but they're hitting about the same according to the ballistic gel. Alright everybody, that's going to wrap up this week's episode of Idaho Rifleman with the comparison of 40 Smith & Wesson and 45 ACP. I'll tell you, they were so close that I wouldn't hesitate to carry either one of them in any circumstance, but the 45 went a little bit further in the gel by less than an inch, maybe half an inch, if that. 40 Smith & Wesson expanded more than the 45 ACP did. So, and actually the 40 Smith & Wesson expanded to a greater diameter than the 45 ACP, not just the percentage wise, but actual surface wise. So I could see in a way what I heard growing up of they're similar enough. If you want bigger, go 45. If you want smaller, go 9. But I'll be really curious to get my hands on some more of this American Gunner and 9mm and do this comparison again between 40 and 9 and just see what the difference looks like there. Again, I'm not going to knock 40 Smith & Wesson. It's got plenty of power, plenty of expansion, and it performed just about as well as 45 ACP did with a little less recoil. Not that recoil is unmanageable in either caliber, but just an extra factor there. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, found it informative. Be sure to give it a like, make sure you're following, leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought. As always, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Take care, stay safe, and God bless. We'll see you next time here on Idaho Rifleman.